My name is John Eric Horn. I'm CEO and founder of difesa. It's a cybersecurity services and consulting company based in Munich, Germany. I've been in the IT and cybersecurity business now for about 30 years in various roles and positions. And this is my fourth own venture that I've started. We're about 2.5 years old. So during my career, I've spent several years in consulting companies, amongst them PwC and BDO. And at the one company, we had a very solid real-time tracking system of our teammates, our staff. But on the other hand, we had no connection to the offers, the proposals, and the projects. So there was a break in the process. We had the challenge that we were actually managing retroactively. We didn't know how good we were, how our performance was until the end of the month. And that's not the best way to deal with running a business. We founded difesa in January 2023. So one of my main goals in that phase was already to find an application that takes care of us from order to cash. I didn't care actually about the excellence in each step. For me, it was most important that we have one system, no breaks in the media. It's a single process, and we don't have to transfer data manually or using scripts or batch jobs or whatever else. And that's why we chose the VOGSY. Now, of course, we work in a German business environment, and the laws and the regulatory requirements of the land are important to us. I mean, it's part of our consulting business as well. So obviously we have to lead with a good example. Another reason we chose VOGSY is we saw that data structures are clear. You can integrate it into your backend. We use Microsoft, others would use Google Suite. And therefore, we also have a clear access concept, who can reach which files, who can read which files, and who can change things. Another point is, in regards to our customers, is it's very flexible in regards to templates. So we have all of our own templates in there. When we send out an invoice, it looks like a difesa invoice. It doesn't look like a VOGSY invoice because it's our template. We make the design, the layout, and the tool itself offers enough input items where we can actually detail the invoice, and then the customer can also find himself, so to speak. He can rediscover the performance that of the project or whatever else results we delivered, and that is part of the sales experience. As a matter of fact, it's part of the interaction with your own customer. So that was important to us as well, and just another requirement that VOGSY did fulfill. After our initial start phase with VOGSY, we were starting to ramp up more and more personnel. And then we noticed another benefit, that it was very easy to include or train new employees to use the system. Having said that, also the mobile version of the system is very convincing as well. But this important item was part of our goal to keep overhead reduced, keep it at a low level. It is professional services, so if anything you have on overhead is going to be a competitive disadvantage. And here, of course, we were easily scaling up. We could bring people on board, train them within hours, create our own little training videos for inside the company, for the intranet, telling people which specifics to pay attention to when they're booking time on projects, for example, or creating timesheets, things like that. That's part of the customer interaction, and therefore it's also important to us. But all these things came into play as we were considering buying VOGSY. Yes, they've proven themselves to be very valuable in the meantime. We wouldn't want to miss it anymore. So anybody working in the German business environment doing professional services, of course, is confronted with the new time tracking mandates that the law has imposed on us. And obviously, it seems sometimes ridiculous if we look at digitalization, artificial intelligence. We're talking about the 21st century, and then we get a legal requirement that feels like 19th century almost, to clock in and clock out, and at the same time, we're discussing home office mandates. So, as many other companies, of course, we have the challenge to integrate our ERP system, VOGSY, together with our HR system, and That hasn't been done yet, but I must say at the same time, VOGSY is always open to these discussions. They never turn them down as requests, and integration work on things like this is always ongoing and very cooperative. So that's been another benefit for us as well. So of course, time tracking is a core function of any ERP for professional services. What we've discovered in the VOGSY system is that we are easily able to automate the process for time tracking, for approval processes for time tracking, so that staff can enter their time, but then the project managers can also confirm if those times are valid or if they need to be adjusted for some reason. At the same time, this continues all the way through, this flexibility continues all the way through to the invoicing function. Even during invoicing, you can still decide, okay, which hours to book now, book later, or even drop off the invoice for whatever reason. And that has proven to be for us also a large benefit for our ERP processes. The one thing I really like about VOGSY are the dashboards. You have a complete overview of all proposals. You can also see their status. They use a weather-like icon, so you can see if things are sunny or rainy or cloudy. And that's quite helpful to really focus on the important topics at hand. Are there things that need to be reinforced or where maybe your project needs support, or are there things that are running really well? And that's a good message just as well. And same thing goes for financial management. There's quite a few dashboards, and of course they're customizable. They're like widgets, and you can you have a very quick, a very efficient overview of which parts of the team are utilization, who maybe needs more engagement, where's revenue being made, where is profit being made. You can also tell if which projects are more profitable than others. And those are, of course, vital information. The faster a team grows, the larger a team gets, the more difficult those tasks become. And then you need to rely here on your data. You need to have high data quality, but we have here a platform that offers really, just from a visual perspective, really nice overview. If you follow the quote to cash process, then you realize that you constantly have different people out of the organization involved with the same project. At some point, it starts out as an idea, a proposal, a quote, and then it turns into a project, and then people are working on it. It needs to be invoiced. So along the way, various people have to support or interact with the system in regards to the same project, the same client. And this is where the VOGSY system actually provides a lot of clarity. It helps to transition from one phase to the next, from one staff or group of people working on that to the next, in order to transmit also the information involved that are necessary. Which client? Who are the contacts of the client? What project is it? What are the deliverables? You might have different teams working on different deliverables, things like that. And there, of course, it's a huge benefit to have all this information at hand. It's in one place. It's accessible for everybody. And there is no redundancy. You do not need to duplicate information into different formats in order to inform different functions or people. My general advice to other professional services companies, whether they be in cybersecurity, IT consulting, or other areas, don't start out with compromises. Don't start out with Excel sheets and data here, data there. Take the jump, invest in decent tools for each function, professional tools that will take you further and higher. Doesn't matter if you're a 2-person team starting out, which we were, or you're 20 or 200. Make sure you get your core processes covered by excellent tools, excellent SaaS solutions. There's a lot out there. No need to build your own apps. No need to put in workarounds, offline data, moving stuff back and forth through chat groups or anything like that. That would be my strong advice. At times we would hesitate for a moment. Wow, that's quite a bit of money. Do we spend it? There's different functions you got to take care of. There's legal requirements as well. It's not just the ERP, it's HR, it's accounting, finance, all these other things. And it's like, no. At each step along the way, we decided we'll take a professional tool. We're not going to fool around. And it's also part of your own self-perception. And that emanates out to the market as well. I didn't directly mention VOGSY, but I think it's obvious, right? Yeah. But, that's how good VOGSY is. I tell you, we're really glad we have it. We're glad we integrated it. We made that decision. We were looking at different tools at the time. But I think that was the best decision we could make at the time, and it still is. And I expect it to stay that way for quite a while.